I'm going to discuss the most important uh, writer biography is Charlie Dickens. Charlie Dickens was a very great writer and novelist, and in his best works is his best works are remarkable in the English literature, and his novels are also very interesting. So his works are really great and achieves lots of awards and rewards from the English literature as well as in the other English language parts. Charles John's Homeform Dickens 7 Feb was born on 7 February 1812, was an English writer and social critic. He created some of world's best known fictional characters and is regarded by many as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. So in this paragraph we comes to know that how the Charles John Houseform Dickens, which is its full name, was born on the 7th January 1812 and was an English writer and social critic. He created some of the world's best known fictional characters and is regarded by the many as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. His works enjoyed unprecedented popularity during his lifetimes, and by the 20th century, critics and scholars had recognized him as a literary genius. So many critics, so many scholars had recognized him as a literary genius. So he was an literary genius, and his great fictional works and characters are very famous in the Victorian era period as well as in today English literature. Great works. His work enjoyed unprecedented popularity during his lifetime, and by the 20th century, critics and scholars had recognized him as a literary genius. His novels and short stories are widely read today. So उसकी जो great novels हैं, short stories हैं, are widely read today in the great part of English literature. Dickens left his school at the age of 12 to work in a booze baking factory when his father was incarcerated in a debtor prison. So he have to left his school at the age of 12 in order to work in a booze blacking factory when his father was incarcerated in a debtor prison. Dickens' literary success began with the 1836 serial publications of the Pickwick Papers. So his great literary success begins with the 1836 serial publications of the Pickwick paper, which is publications phenomenon thanks largely to the introduction of the character Sam Weller in the fourth episode that sparked Pickwick merchandise and the spin-off. So, which is a publishing phenomenon and thanks largely to the introduction of the character Sam Well in the fourth episode that is sparked Pickwick merchandise and the spin-offs. So these are the most important and most famous characters which is created by the Charles Dickens and are well known today in English literature. Within a few years, Dickens had become an international literary celebrity, famous for his humor, satire, and keen observations of characters and society. So, within a few years, Dickens had become an international literary celebrity, famous for his humor, satire, and keen observations of the character and society. His novels, most of them published in the monthly or weekly installment, pioneered the serial publications. So, his novels are published in a monthly and weekly period. So, this kind of a hmm, period gives the audience excitement and for the next publication and for the next weekly installment period, the serial publications. After 3 years, he returned to school before he began his literary career as a journalist. So, after 3 years, he returned to a school before he began his literary career as a journalist. Dickens edited a weekly journal for 20 years, wrote 15 novels, 5 novellas, hundreds of short stories, and non-fiction articles. So these are the most important works by the Charles Dickens, and these are the work who achieved the lots of success and lots of remarkable performance in the English literature. So Dickens edited a weekly journal for 20 years, wrote 15 novels wrote करी हैं, 5 novellas, 100 of the short stories and non-fictional articles. So these are the most important works which Charlie Dickens famous about all of them. So I hope you like this video, which is very important according to your examination point of view. Charles Dickens was a very great writer, and he contributed lots of great literary work in the English literature, and now in these days, everybody knows him for his great fictional characters and novelist of the Victorian era, and his work enjoyed and presented popular during his lifetime and by the 20th century. Critics and scholars had recognized him as a literary genius. His novels and short stories are widely read today. Dickens left his school at the age of 12 because he had to work for the Boost blacking factory when his father was incarcerated in a debtor prisoner. So Dickens' literary success begins with the 1836 serial publications of the Pickwick Papers. Within a few years, Dickens had become an international literary celebrity and famous for his great works and for example, humor, satire, keen observation of character and society. So after the 3 years, he returned to the school before he began his literary career as a journalist, and Dickens edited a weekly journal for 20 years and wrote 15 novels, 5 novellas, 100 of short stories, and non-fictional articles. So I hope you like this video. Thank you so much.